Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to show you lot how to create a delicious Thanksgiving menu without burning a hole in your bloody wallet. Thanksgiving doesn't have to bankrupt you, you hear? We're going to prove that you can have an amazing feast without breaking the bank. Get ready to impress your family and friends with a budget-friendly spread that tastes like $1,000,000. Right, listen up. You want to start with appetizers that don't cost the earth, but still get those taste buds going. The key here is to be smart with your choices, using ingredients that are affordable, yet pack a punch in flavor. You don't need to spend a fortune to impress your guests. Let's dive into some fantastic options that will set the tone for your meal without breaking the bank. First up, deviled eggs. They're classic, they're easy, and they're cheap as chips. These little bites of heaven are always a crowd pleaser and can be made in no time. Boil those eggs until they're hard, scoop out the yolks, and mix them with some mayo, mustard, and a pinch of paprika. You can even get creative by adding a bit of relish or some finely chopped herbs to give them a unique twist. It's foolproof, even you lot can't mess it up. Plus, they look quite posh when arranged nicely on a platter. Next, a bloody brilliant veggie platter. This is not only healthy, but also visually appealing. Don't go overboard, just pick a few seasonal vegetables like carrots, celery, and cucumbers. Seasonal veggies are often cheaper and fresher, making them a great choice. Slice them up nice and neat, arrange them on a plate with some hummus or dip, and you're done. You can also add some cherry tomatoes or bell pepper strips for a pop of color. It's fresh, it's colorful, and it won't break the bank. Another winner? Mini quiches. These are perfect for any occasion and can be made ahead of time. Blind bake some cheap and cheerful pastry cases, then fill them up with eggs, cheese, and whatever leftover veggies you've got lurking in the fridge. You can also add some cooked bacon or ham if you have any on hand. Pop them in the oven until golden brown, and you've got yourself a right treat. Don't forget about dips. They are versatile and can be paired with various dippers. A simple hummus is easy to make from scratch, or grab a store-bought one if you're short on time. You can also try making other dips like guacamole or a simple yogurt-based dip. Serve it with pita bread, veggie sticks, or even tortilla chips. The variety of dippers will keep things interesting and cater to different tastes. And finally, for a touch of elegance, how about some bruschetta? This Italian classic is always a hit and can be made with simple ingredients. Toast some slices of baguette, rub them with garlic, and top with a mixture of chopped tomatoes, basil, and a drizzle of olive oil. You can also add a bit of balsamic vinegar for an extra kick. Simple, delicious, and bloody affordable. These appetizers will not only impress your guests but also keep your wallet happy. So go on, give them a try and kick things off right. Now, for the main event. Who says you need a whole turkey to have a proper Thanksgiving? A massive bird is expensive and frankly, a lot of it goes to waste. Instead, why not try a smaller roast chicken? It's just as delicious, much more manageable, and easier on the wallet. Season that chicken with herbs, spices, and a little bit of salt and pepper. Roast it in the oven until it's golden brown and cooked to perfection. You can even stuff it with some lemon and herbs for extra flavor. Another option, a beautiful ham. It's impressive, it's flavorful, and it feeds a crowd. Score the skin, glaze it with honey and mustard, and roast it until it's caramelized and sticky. For a vegetarian option, a lentil loaf is hearty, flavorful, and packed with protein. It's easy to make from scratch, or you can find pre-made versions at most supermarkets. And if you're feeling really adventurous, why not try a whole roasted fish? Salmon, trout, or even cod would work brilliantly. Season it simply with salt, pepper, and lemon, and roast it in the oven until it's flaky and cooked through. Right, on to the sides. Thanksgiving is all about the main course, but let's not forget the importance of the side dishes. They can truly elevate your meal and make it memorable. We're going for simple, classic dishes that won't cost you an arm and a leg. First up, mashed potatoes. This dish is a staple on any Thanksgiving table, and for good reason. You can't go wrong with this crowd pleaser. Peel those potatoes, boil them until tender, and make sure to choose a starchy variety like russets for the best texture. Then mash them up with butter, milk, and a pinch of salt and pepper. You can even add a bit of garlic or cheese for an extra flavor boost. Next, green beans. Don't overcook them, you want them to still have a bit of bite. Green beans are a great way to add some color and freshness to your plate. Simply steam or blanch them until they're bright green and tender crisp. This method preserves their nutrients and vibrant color. Toss them with a little butter, garlic, and some toasted almonds for extra crunch. The almonds add a nice nutty flavor and a bit of texture. Sweet potato casserole is always a winner. This dish combines the natural sweetness of the potatoes with a rich, buttery topping. It's sweet, it's savory, and it's surprisingly affordable to make. Plus, it's a dish that can be prepared ahead of time, saving you some stress on the big day. Roast those sweet potatoes until they're tender, mash them up and mix them with butter, brown sugar and spices. You can also add a splash of orange juice for a citrusy twist. Roast those sweet potatoes until they're tender, mash them up, and mix them with butter, brown sugar and spices. You can also add a splash of orange juice for a citrusy twist. Top with a crunchy pecan crumble for extra indulgence. The pecans add a delightful crunch and a nutty flavor that complements the sweetness of the potatoes perfectly. Don't forget the stuffing. This is another classic side that can be made on a budget. Use day-old bread to keep costs down, and bulk it out with veggies like celery, onions, and herbs. These ingredients add flavor and texture without breaking the bank. Sauté everything together in a pan, letting the flavors meld together. The key is to get the vegetables nice and soft before mixing them with the bread, then bake it in the oven until it's golden brown and crispy on top. This gives the stuffing a wonderful texture, with a crispy top and a soft, flavorful interior. And finally, for a touch of freshness, a simple salad is always a good idea. It balances out the richness of the other dishes and adds a refreshing element to your meal. Use seasonal greens like spinach, kale, or romaine lettuce. These greens are not only nutritious but also add a nice variety of textures and flavors. Toss them with a simple vinaigrette made from olive oil, vinegar, and a touch of mustard. This dressing is light and complements the greens perfectly. Use seasonal greens like spinach, kale, or romaine lettuce. These greens are not only nutritious but also add a nice variety of textures and flavors. Toss them with a simple vinaigrette made from olive oil, vinegar, and a touch of mustard. This dressing is light and complements the greens perfectly, and top with some toasted nuts or seeds for extra texture. The nuts add a satisfying crunch and a bit of protein, making your salad more filling. Now for the sweet stuff. Desserts are the perfect way to end any meal, especially during the holidays. But you don't have to break the bank to enjoy some delicious treats. You don't need to spend a fortune on fancy desserts. With a little creativity and some basic ingredients, you can whip up something that will impress your guests without emptying your wallet. A classic pumpkin pie is always a winner. It's a staple at many holiday gatherings, and for good reason. It's easy to make from scratch, or you can cheat and use a store-bought crust. Either way, the result is a delicious creamy pie that everyone will love. Just mix up the pumpkin puree with spices, sugar, and eggs, pour it into the crust, and bake until set. The aroma of baking pumpkin pie will fill your home with the scent of the holidays. Apple crisp is another crowd pleaser. It's a bit more rustic than pie, but just as delicious. It's warm, it's comforting, and it's perfect for a chilly autumn evening. The combination of tender apples and crunchy topping is simply irresistible. Peel and slice those apples, toss them with sugar, cinnamon, and a squeeze of lemon juice. The lemon juice adds a nice tang that balances the sweetness of the apples. Top with a buttery oat crumble and bake until golden brown and bubbly. The topping gets wonderfully crisp while the apples become tender and juicy. For something a little simpler, how about a fruit salad? It's light, refreshing, and a great way to showcase seasonal fruits. Use seasonal fruits like apples, pears, and oranges. These fruits are not only delicious but also more affordable when they're in season. Slice them up, toss them with a little bit of honey and lemon juice, and you're good to go. The honey adds a touch of sweetness, while the lemon juice keeps the fruit from browning. And if you're really short on time, ice cream is always a winner. It's a no-fuss dessert that everyone loves. Buy a few different flavors, and let your guests choose their favorites. You can even set up a little ice cream bar with various toppings. Top with whipped cream sprinkles and a cherry for extra indulgence. It's a simple way to make store-bought ice cream feel special. And finally, for a truly budget-friendly option, how about some cookies? They're easy to make and always a hit. Bake up a batch of your favorites, or buy a few different varieties from the store. Either way, cookies are a crowd pleaser. Arrange them on a platter and let your guests help themselves. It's a simple yet effective way to end your meal on a sweet note. Finally, let's talk drinks. You don't need to serve expensive wines or cocktails to impress your guests. Homemade lemonade is refreshing, flavorful, and easy to make. Simply mix lemon juice, sugar, and water. You can even add some sliced fruit or herbs for extra flavor. Iced tea is another great option. Brew a big batch ahead of time and keep it chilled in the fridge. Serve it over ice with a slice of lemon or lime. For a festive touch, how about some sparkling cider? It's bubbly, it's refreshing, And it's alcohol-free so everyone can enjoy it. And if you do want to serve alcohol, stick to beer and wine. Buy in bulk to save money, and choose affordable options that won't break the bank. And there you have it, a complete Thanksgiving feast that won't break the bank. Remember, it's not about how much money you spend, it's about spending time with loved ones and enjoying good food. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more budget-friendly tips and recipes. Happy Thanksgiving. Remember, Thanksgiving is about more than just the food. It's about spending time with loved ones and being thankful for all the good things in our lives. So gather your friends and family, cook up a storm, and have a bloody brilliant Thanksgiving.